From a college star to a WNBA phenom, Caitlin Clark's rookie year was not just impressive, it redefined what it means to be a rookie in the league. You think breaking records is enough? Wait until you see how she shattered expectations and transformed the entire WNBA landscape.
Ball kept alive. Another feed inside, and Stuckey finishes! Clark's 8th assist, and the Big Ten all-time...
Caitlin Clark didn't just arrive in the WNBA, she exploded onto the scene. Coming off an iconic college career at Iowa, where she was already rewriting the history books, her entry into the pros was met with sky-high expectations, and somehow, she exceeded them all. Named the unanimous 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year, she not only met the hype, but left no room for doubt. Clark is the future of basketball. Clark led all rookies, averaging 19.2 points per game, an eye-popping stat for a first-year player. But she didn't stop there. Her 337 assists not only put her at the top of the rookie leaderboard, but shattered a long-standing WNBA record. And if you think that's impressive, she became the first rookie ever to notch a triple-double in the league. 35 double-digit scoring games and 14 double-doubles. Her stats speak for themselves, but what really sets her apart is how she did it. Night after night, her consistency was unreal.
Caitlin Clark is running away with the WNBA assists lead. She's 25 better than anybody else in the league. It's pretty extraordinary for a rookie. Caitlin Clark, in a shock to me, has proven already to be a once-a-generation passer. I did not see that coming at Iowa.
Clark's range was limitless. She drained 122 three-pointers, not just leading rookies, but outshooting the entire league. It wasn't just about hitting threes, it was about when and how she did it. These were clutch, game-changing shots that turned the Indiana Fever from an underdog team into playoff contenders, something they hadn't achieved since 2016. She wasn't just a scorer, she was a leader, a floor general who could change the game in a split second. Clark wasn't just Rookie of the Year. She made the AP All-WNBA first team, alongside heavyweights like Breanna Stewart and Aja Wilson. To be listed with the best of the best in her rookie year says everything about the immediate impact she had on the league. This wasn't a player learning the ropes. This was a player creating a whole new path.
Oh, okay. I thought look, I don't think there's any surprise. I mean, she averaged 19 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, scored the most points by a point guard in WNBA history. The most amazing thing is not the unanimous Rookie of the Year, is she's first team All-WNBA with the big dogs. She's on the team with Aja Wilson. She's on the team with Stewie. Let that sink in. She is a rookie.
Her impact transcended the court. Caitlin Clark brought excitement back to the WNBA. Attendance at Fever games surged, and TV ratings followed suit. Clark isn't just playing basketball. She's reshaping the conversation about the league. More fans, more coverage, and more spotlight. She's turning heads and making the WNBA must-watch television again. But what's even more inspiring? Amidst all the praise, Clark remained grounded. When reporters pressed her on her record-breaking season, she continually shifted focus back to her teammates and the team's ultimate goal, the playoffs. It's this humble approach, despite her meteoric rise, that cements her as a true leader, both on and off the court. If you think you've seen everything Caitlin Clark has to offer, trust me, you're only scratching the surface. Each video takes hours of research and dedication to bring you the best stories out there. Want to keep following her journey and more? Hit that subscribe button now, because the best is yet to come, and you don't want to miss it.
But a couple of things has happened since then. Number one, Chenndy Carter. Everybody remembers Chenndy Carter with the vicious "you bitch" and then slamming into her Reed style during the Chicago Sky, that first game they played. And after that, Chenndy Carter dropped a now, and the comment was, and that's that on that, because besides three-point shooting, what does she bring to the table, man?
What happens when one of the WNBA's most controversial players takes aim at the league's rising star? The tension between Chenndy Carter and Caitlin Clark reached a boiling point, and what unfolded shook the WNBA community. In June 2024, WNBA fans witnessed a moment that sent shockwaves through the league. Chenndy Carter, known for her fiery temperament, delivered a vicious off-ball body check on Rookie of the Year, Caitlin Clark, during a heated game. The flagrant foul, which led to widespread debate, wasn't just a moment of physical aggression. It symbolized the growing rivalry between two of the WNBA's most talked-about players.
I'm just at the point where you accept it and don't retaliate. Like, just let them hit you. be what it is. Don't let it get inside your head, and know it's coming. I think at this point, like, I know I'm going to take a couple hard shots a game. It is what it is, I guess. I don't know.
Carter, who had faced suspension earlier in her career with the Atlanta Dream, refused to comment post-game, only adding fuel to the fire. Her critique of Clark's game, especially her three-point shooting, left many fans outraged. In an era where Clark's groundbreaking performance was reshaping the WNBA, Carter's remarks were seen by many as a desperate attempt to downplay the rookie's achievements.
I agree with a lot what Chenndy said. I think the thing is, I believe, Miss Carter, you can play hard without playing cheap. Now, if you want to say, well, she threw an elbow or a punch at my head, if you wanted to hip check her and you're trying to block her out for a rebound, I don't think we're having
The backlash against Carter was swift and harsh. Basketball analysts and fans alike didn't hold back, labeling her comments as petty and questioning her sportsmanship. To many, it seemed as though Carter was threatened by the rapid rise of Clark, a player who was not only breaking records, but revitalizing the Indiana Fever and the league as a whole. Sports experts, from Stephen A. Smith to Nancy Lieberman, weighed in, with many calling out Carter's behavior as emblematic of deeper tensions within the WNBA.
This was a joke the entire season to think it wasn't going to happen. But our lady, our woman, our hooper, Caitlin Clark is the unanimous, no kidding, Rookie of the Year. Was it ever really a competition?
But Caitlin Clark, she didn't need words. Just days after Carter's scathing critique, Clark made WNBA history by becoming the first rookie ever to record a triple-double. It was the ultimate clap back, without saying a word. In the game following the controversy, Clark didn't just play, she dominated. Her performance silenced doubters and solidified her status as one of the league's brightest stars. Clark's response wasn't just measured, it was powerful. When asked about the incident, she shrugged it off, saying, "It is what it is." Her maturity and focus, in the face of both verbal and physical attacks, spoke volumes. Where Carter's words incited controversy, Clark's performance earned respect.
For all the money and revenue that these tournaments pay out now. So I agree. Miss Carter, I believe you can play hard. You're supposed to compete. But I believe you can do it without being cheap. And that's what you did with a cheap shot.
As Carter faced criticism, Clark stayed above the fray. During the same game where Carter's shoulder check led to a flagrant foul, Clark's stats, 11 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists, helped the Indiana Fever clinch a narrow win. This was leadership in action. While Carter's actions sparked discussions about unsportsmanlike conduct, Clark's grace under pressure was the real story.
Number of factors, and to give some people credit, I do think some of these do have to do with a person's image, and that can be confounded by race and sexuality, because I think when you see WNBA players who are physical, that reads differently if they also are.
The tension between Carter and Clark isn't just about one game. It's a symbol of the growing competitiveness in the WNBA. Clark's rookie season saw her break numerous records, and with that level of success comes inevitable tension. Some within the league may feel threatened by her rapid ascent, but Clark has proven that her focus is on the game, not the drama. This budding rivalry is one to watch. Carter's repeated controversies have kept her in the headlines, but Clark's ability to rise above the noise has endeared her to fans and analysts alike. She's not just breaking records, she's setting a new standard for professionalism in women's basketball.
7 games to play. They're the hottest team in the league since the Olympic break. They can win it all this season if, and only if, Caitlin Clark continues to elevate her efficiency and basketball.
Imagine being the one player who turns an entire franchise around. Caitlin Clark didn't just join the Indiana Fever, she resurrected them. From a struggling bottom-tier team to playoff contenders, Clark's rookie season wasn't just historic for her, it was historic for the entire WNBA. Caitlin Clark's rookie season was more than just a personal triumph, it was a lifeline for the Indiana Fever. For years, the team had languished in the lower ranks, missing the playoffs since 2016. But all that changed with Clark's arrival. Averaging an impressive 19.2 points per game and leading the league in assists, she was the undeniable force that propelled the Fever into the playoffs. It wasn't just her stats, it was her leadership, her drive, and her relentless focus that sparked a complete team transformation. Clark's influence stretched far beyond the stat sheet. She was a magnet for fans. 9 of the highest attended games of the 2024 season featured the Fever, drawing in a whopping 643,000 fans, more than some WNBA teams have seen in years. Fans didn't just come to see a game, they came to witness history. Clark's ability to electrify a crowd, much like Diana Taurasi did in her prime, has turned the Indiana Fever into a must-watch team. Her presence alone reshaped the narrative of the WNBA, bringing newfound attention to women's basketball.
Put the work in. So I think for my advice to Caitlin, be a horse, man. You know, the Kentucky Derby, put your blinders on, go to work, show up to work, punch your clock in, prepare yourself, work on your game, work on your craft, you know, kind of keep your mouth shut, you know, and just learn from the vets. When they ask, you voice your opinion if they want your opinion, man, early on, because everybody is looking for you to say anything and they're going to splice it and cut it and make it a negative thing. And I think for her, the one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in.
Even with the pressure of a rookie season, Clark showed the composure of a seasoned veteran. Despite being targeted on the court by players like Chenndy Carter, Clark's focus never wavered. Instead of engaging in drama, she centered her attention on lifting her team. This leadership, often seen in moments of adversity, has been the glue holding the Fever together. Her ability to stay calm, uplift her teammates, and guide the team into the playoffs has shifted the culture of the Indiana Fever, setting a new standard for what a leader looks like. As the Fever head into the postseason, all eyes are on Clark. Can she elevate her game even further and lead her team to a deep playoff run? One thing is for sure, she's proven time and again that pressure only makes her stronger.
Talk about, other than we'll talk about it here on this show. She's going to face a level of racism from black players, and she's going to face a level of hostility from lesbian players because she's not on team LGBTQ. She's a Catholic.
Is Caitlin Clark the future of the WNBA? Her first season wasn't just about breaking records. It was about changing the game, drawing in fans, and reshaping the MVP conversation.
So, a little response to this. CC is next level. A'ja Wilson will win the MVP. It was decided on day one. If you look at who has had been the biggest offensive threat in the W, Caitlin wins hands down. No other player generates more points. No other player is defended like she is. The coaches.
From the moment she stepped onto the WNBA court, Caitlin Clark didn't just play basketball, she revolutionized it. Her rookie year was a spectacle, sparking conversations about the MVP race, which many had considered a foregone conclusion. Early favorites like A'ja Wilson were suddenly facing competition from a rookie. Clark's ability to command attention and deliver jaw-dropping performances transformed her from a promising talent to a legitimate MVP contender.
He's more than likely sympathetic to folks that have a lot of emotion tied up in how Caitlin was covered versus how Angel was covered, and a lot of that, which is real stuff, and we have discussed a lot. But on the basketball side of things, if you are out here,
Clark's influence reaches far beyond the basketball court. Her rivalry with Angel Reese has drawn comparisons to some of the most iconic sports rivalries in history. Think Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird. Their on-court clashes are must-watch events, bringing unprecedented attention to the WNBA. But more than that, Clark is sparking important conversations about gender equity and representation in sports, pushing women's basketball into the mainstream spotlight like never before. Caitlin Clark's rookie season was just the beginning. Her impact has already redefined women's basketball, but her legacy promises to stretch far beyond her playing years. From increasing WNBA ratings to inspiring the next generation of athletes, she's a transformative figure for the future of women's sports. And as she leads the Indiana Fever into the playoffs, one thing is clear: Caitlin Clark is more than just a player. She's a force that's changing the game for good. Every detail of this video was crafted with care and passion by just one person. Hours of research, writing, and editing went into bringing you this story. If you've enjoyed it, show your support by subscribing. It's the easiest way to ensure more content like this comes your way, and trust me, it makes a world of difference. Clark wasted no time rewriting the record books. By the end of her rookie season, she had shattered the WNBA rookie assist record with 276 assists and became the first rookie ever to log a triple-double. That monumental game against the New York Liberty, where she put up 19 points, 12 assists, and 13 rebounds, was a defining moment, not just for her season, but for the future of the league. Clark proved that even as a rookie, she was capable of competing with the best the WNBA had to offer.
Kelsey Mitchell was huge in that fourth quarter. You and her combined for 10 threes. How important of a role did she play in closing this game out?
Kelsey was awesome. I mean, she just steps up in big moments. That's just what she's done. She's done it all year, and I'm really happy for her. She's got a ton of confidence, and she's been...
But her influence didn't stop at individual accolades. Clark was the catalyst for the Indiana Fever's resurgence. After years of missing the playoffs, the Fever became one of the league's most dangerous teams, largely due to Clark's chemistry with veterans like Kelsey Mitchell. Together, they averaged over 50 points per game, a number that turned the Fever from an afterthought into a playoff powerhouse.
Single team has even done that once. So if we take a look at this line chart, we can see the dip in 2021 because of COVID, and then this huge spike in 2024. He then linked out to another chart that says the yearly league attendance by team. So if we look at this chart for the 2024 season, the Indiana Fever are pretty much blowing out every other team. They are averaging almost 16,000 per 39 games. So this is taking into consideration not only the Indiana Fever home games, but also when they are on the road.
Clark's impact off the court may be just as impressive as her game. She didn't just break records on the stat sheet, she broke attendance records too. 9 of the top 10 most attended games of the 2024 season involved the Fever. Fans were flocking to arenas, not just for the basketball, but to witness history in the making. Clark has become a symbol of what the future of women's basketball can look like: exciting, competitive, and worth every second of attention.
To perspective, it's from El Deportista, and he said the WNBA year-to-year attendance. The WNBA has called for growth for several years. Taking a look back at the last 20 years, they've unfortunately been met with a stalemate, but enter 2024 and the Caitlin Clark effect.
Caitlin Clark's rise isn't just inspiring for her peers. She's a role model for the next generation of athletes. Her dedication, leadership, and game-changing performances have captivated young players across the country. For many, Clark represents the evolving face of women's basketball, one that's drawing more attention, more media coverage, and more respect than ever before.
And I even the dumbest of the dumb here in the media in the great state of Indiana, would you ever see a day where the Indiana Fever outdrew the Pacers? They would laugh at you. They would. This is the effect of Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark didn't just make waves on the court. She's reshaping the entire WNBA. Her rookie season was so impactful that it doubled the league's viewership and brought in an entirely new audience. So, how did one player transform the face of women's basketball? Let's break it down.
No. Right? When I watch Caitlin play, they guard her everywhere. Guard her out of bounds when she's on the bench getting arrested. They guard her everywhere. So all I'm saying is, like, I get what she's saying, but she seek that attention, right? And another thing is, it's obvious she's jealous of Kate Court and she's waving her hand and all that. It's because she's giving buckets in basketball, right? And she looks like Steph Curry. And that's simple.
Caitlin Clark's arrival in the WNBA was a game changer, not just for the Indiana Fever, but for the league as a whole. Clark didn't just draw in fans, she redefined what it means to be a rookie. Since her debut, the WNBA has experienced an unprecedented 133% increase in overall viewership, with networks like ION reporting over 1 million viewers for games featuring Clark and the Fever. This surge in ratings isn't a coincidence. It's the Caitlin Clark effect. What's more impressive than the raw numbers? The fact that Clark has drawn in a whole new demographic of fans. The WNBA has traditionally had a strong female following, but with Clark's rise, male viewership has spiked by a jaw-dropping 181%. Suddenly, the WNBA isn't just a niche league, it's becoming must-watch television for everyone, and Clark is at the heart of it all.
As a rookie, ladies and gentlemen, put this in perspective. Caitlin Clark finished the regular season leading rookies in scoring, field goals made, three-point field goals made, assists, steals, and minutes played, and she led the league in assists and three-pointers made. Think of the point that you made about Caitlin Clark in terms of the BS that she had to deal with. off the court. We got to remember she's been box office. She was a main attraction.
With ratings climbing, advertisers have taken notice. Over 20 new brands have partnered with the WNBA this season alone, eager to place their products in front of the millions of viewers tuning in to see Clark. She's not just elevating the Fever, she's boosting the entire league's visibility and profitability. More eyes on the game means more opportunities for sponsors, and Clark is the catalyst driving that growth. Clark's rookie season has been the talk of the media. Every sports show, from ESPN to local outlets, is buzzing about her record-breaking performances. She's been on the cover of major sports magazines, and analysts can't stop comparing her influence to the likes of Diana Taurasi and even LeBron James. Caitlin Clark isn't just a star, she's quickly becoming a household name, and the media can't get enough. Caitlin Clark isn't just changing the game on the court, she's inspiring an entire generation of young athletes who see her as proof that women's basketball can be just as thrilling, competitive, and respected as any other sport. From her record-breaking college career at Iowa to her meteoric rise in the WNBA, Clark has become the face of what's possible in women's sports. Clark's ability to defy expectations is inspiring girls across the country to lace up their sneakers and dream bigger than ever before. She's shown that women's sports can attract the same attention, excitement, and investment that men's leagues do. The Caitlin Clark effect has done more than just boost ratings. It's sparking a wave of interest in women's basketball at every level, from high school gyms to professional arenas. At every Fever game, you'll see signs in the crowd, "Caitlin taught me to dream." It's not just a slogan, it's the truth. Clark's work ethic, determination, and humility are what make her the ultimate role model for young athletes. Despite all the accolades, she remains grounded, approachable, and relatable. For every young girl watching her, she's proof that greatness isn't just possible, it's achievable.